Hello, I'm going to be showing you how to use some of the resources that the stewardship team will be sharing after this webinar. So once the webinar is over, we will send all of the attendees a folder with links to all of the materials and resources that we've talked about today. So once you've received that folder and saved it, you can open it up. And it'll look something like this. It may look a little bit different by the time that you receive it. The first thing that you will want to do is read this document that says "Read me first." It contains some advice and an overview of all of the materials that we've included. But once you've done that and you want to go ahead and start working on some of your designs, then you want to open this document that says links to online templates. So we have created resources both on Canva and Microsoft Forms, and I'm going to start by talking about Canva. Lots of churches already use Canva, so if you have an account, that's great. But if not, you can just go to www.canva.com and sign up for a free account. Once you've done that, then you can simply click on any of these links to open up a template. Once you've clicked that link, you should see a screen like this that says a template was shared with you, start designing now. So just click View Template and then open an editor. And this has created a copy of the original template for you. And what that means is that you can make any changes that you want, and it will not affect users at other churches. This is your copy. Similarly, if you are working on any of these resources and you want to start over for any reason, all you need to do is go back to that original document and click the relevant link, and it will create a fresh copy for you. So in just a minute, I'm going to show you some of the basic things that you can do to adapt these resources for your context. But very briefly, I just want to show you what we have included on Canva. So this first document is a brochure that you can adapt for your congregation. We've also included a response card, an invitation, a presentation with lots of different slide options, some sample Facebook posts that, again, might be worth sharing on social media, and some alternative pages for the brochure, which I will be discussing in just a moment. Now I'll show you how you can make some edits to these resources to adapt them to your own context. And I'm going to be using the brochure to show you how to do that. But the first thing you want to do for any of these templates is go to this bottom left-hand corner where it says Notes and click on that. And we have provided some guidance notes here for each page to help tell you what you need to do and what you need to adapt. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing is to look above each page and see if the little lock that is here is locked or not. So if it's locked, that means that you aren't able to make any changes to the page. And this can be helpful because, here I am, I'm clicking, I'm trying to drag, and I can't change anything. But if I do want to make changes, then what I need to do is go ahead and click Unlock Page. And then that means that I can do things like, move and drag, all that kind of stuff. So once it's unlocked, then I can go ahead and start making some edits. So we'll start looking at the cover. So I'll show you first how you can change text. So if you want to change the text, all you have to do is click on the relevant text and you will be able to edit it. So here I've called this Trinity Parish Church, but let's say that we wanted to insert our own church name. We'll say that we are, Kirkhaven and Corstein. Got to fix that. So as we can see, this is definitely too long. So what we can do is first start by clicking on this little dragger over here and move it to approximately the right position, like that, let's say. Although actually I would like the and to be up here. So I'm gonna just move that, maybe adjust this a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's a good start, but obviously it doesn't fit. So we have a couple of options. We might, for example, want to make the text a little bit smaller. And there are two ways we can do that. The first is just to drag this little corner until it's about the right size, like that. Similarly, we could also just go up here and enter whatever sort of text size we want. So this looks okay, but it's a little bit small. So I think I want to go with slightly bigger font. And again, it doesn't quite fit, so I'll just need to adjust that a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty close, but obviously it still doesn't quite fit. So a couple of other things that we can do. The first is we can click on this little box back here. And again, we can just drag that to be whatever sort of size we want. And let's say we want this to be moved up on the page a little bit. What I can do is first click this and drag it up, then click this and drag that up. And I think that's pretty good, but I think ultimately I might make this just a little bit smaller and bring this in a little bit. So you can play around with it until you're happy with the way that it looks. Some of the text we have included, like this example cover letter, is sort of already drafted for you, and you can either replace it or you can simply go through and adapt it for your own context by doing things like, changing the name. Be sure to read everything really carefully so that you're not leaving in any text that you don't mean to. And some of it will be giving you more sort of descriptions of the type of text you want to include. So you'll need to draft that yourself. And then whenever you're ready to do that, again, just unlock your page and you can just type in here with your own text or copy and paste it from another document. And sometimes what you'll see, so let's say that I've done that. Let's pretend this is some text that I've just inserted. I'm just going to copy it from over there for the purposes of showing you this. So sometimes what you'll see is if you have quite a long bit of text, it'll overrun the page. And all you need to do there is just copy the text that is a bit too long and simply go over to the other box and paste it in there. And again, you can sort of play around until it looks the way that you want it to. So that's how you edit the text. The next thing I want to do is show you how you can edit photos. So we really encourage you to use as many of your own photos as possible in these materials, as they will help your congregation really feel like they are authentic and representing the church. And another important thing to remember is to try and use images of people wherever possible. Generally, people like to look at photos of, people they know from the church a lot more than they like to look at photos of empty buildings. So we've included this stock image photo that you can use or not use in all the resources. But if you want to include your own images, what you can do is go over to this button that I just clicked called Uploads and upload whatever images you want to use. So I've uploaded a couple here to get us started, but I'll show you. You just click Upload Files and then click whatever image it is that you want to upload. So I want to try using a different image here where this lady is currently. So what I will do is simply take whatever image I want and drag and drop it. Now, obviously there's a problem here. So let's say that we want to flip this image. All we have to do is click on the image, go up here, and click Flip Horizontal. And similarly, if I want to maybe make her face a bit bigger, just double click on the image and it will give you the option to, scale or move your photo until it's in the right place. So That's how you would simply edit the cover image, but let's go down to one of these pages here where we include space for multiple images. So these are just little placeholder images right here, but all you have to do to change them is again, just drag. Oh, see, I forgot to unlock it. There's my problem. Let's try that again. Drag and drop. Just like that. And again, if I wanted to zoom in, just double click, scale it. But let's say that actually I don't want 4 images here. I only want 3. If I wanted to change the layout, what I would want to do is go over to this button over here that says Elements. And if you scroll down past some of this, then you'll see this that says Grids. And these are different layout options that you could use for the photos. So let's go ahead and click this and delete it. You'll have to hit delete a couple of times. And again, just drag and drop whatever sort of layout looks good. Maybe something like, let's go with this. And what I'm going to want to do is just scale this whole thing so that we have a little bit of a white gap around it, like it looks like on the other pages. And again, go over to uploads and I can do what I did before and just drag and drop. And let's say you want to get rid of this little thing right here. All you have to do is, again, hit unlock on it and delete again. So that's how you can edit the photos. I next want to show you how you can edit this chart that you see here on page 3. So this provides an overview of the different mission and ministry areas in your church. So what you want to do is just click on this chart and update the names to be whatever you're using in your contacts. So I pretended here that worship is one of our mission and ministry areas, then mission, and then let's say for area 3, we'll just change that to youth. And then you'll want to enter in whatever numbers you have arrived at for each of these ministry areas. So I am just going to make some up real quick. Something like that. And you can see that it goes ahead and updates your percentages depending on whatever numbers you input. And then I'm not going to do the math here, but you would want to go in here and manually enter whatever your total amount is. I also want to show you this chart. So we really encourage you to include some kind of chart or tool to help people think about their giving in a practical and tangible way. This is a proportional giving chart that allows people to consider what percentage of their income they want to give as their offering. But we have also provided a document with some alternatives to this chart, recognizing that different people in different congregations will respond to different things. So I'm pulling over that. So here are the alternative giving charts. So again, here's the proportional giving chart. And then we've included 2 versions of what's called a step-up chart, which lets people reflect on potentially increasing their giving. And then another tool here that talks about ways to make giving more committed and some biblical principles for giving. So let's say that, I'm okay with the proportional giving chart, but actually I really want to use this step-up chart. So all I have to do is go over here and drag my cursor to cover the whole of this page. That will select everything on it, hit delete. And that didn't want to delete with the rest, so we'll just manually delete it. And then I come back over to this page and I again fully select whatever chart I want, copy it, and paste it in here. And again, that worked except for this, but that's easily fixed. I will just copy that again and paste it. And this is actually instructive because as we can see, this bar has covered over our original text. All we need to do to fix that is go to this button that says position and hit backwards. And now it's where it's supposed to be. And that applies for lots of different sort of elements in these materials. And the very last thing you want to do after you've gone through and made all of the edits that you need to, double, triple checked everything, is download it. So what you'll want to do is go to Share, Download, and you'll see that there's some different options for your file type. So for those materials that you're going to have printed, you're going to want to click PDF Print. And if you're sending your materials to a professional printer, which is what we would very much recommend, then you'll want to click this box that says Crop Marks and Bleed. And you can also click Flatten PDF. That just makes it a little bit smaller. And then you will hit download. If you have a Canva premium account, it's a good idea to click this instead of RGB, but RGB will work for most people. And just hit download, and that will start your download. And then you can share that file or send it to your printer. So I've shown you a little bit about how you can use the Canva templates that we've created. And I next want to show you how to use the Microsoft Forms. So these are a couple of digital forms that we've created. The first is an RSVP form that you can adapt for any sort of event that you're running as part of your giving program. And the second item is a digital version of this response card that we have created in Canva if you want to give people the option to return those digitally. So to use these, you will need a free Microsoft account if you don't already have one. But go ahead and copy your hyperlink for whatever form you're going to use. I'll show you how to use the event registration form and paste it into your browser. I should note here that sometimes Microsoft Forms can be a little bit finicky about which browser you're using. So if you're having any issues with the form, I really recommend that you simply switch to a different browser, and you should hopefully be able to do everything you need to do. Okay, so here we are on the event registration form. You can see we've included some basic fields that you can update or adapt. Name, are you able to attend? Which potential session do you want to attend, etc. So to use the form as your own, you're going to hit this button up here that says duplicate it. And now you're able to edit a copy of this. So to update any of these fields, what you can do is simply click on it. So here we have this title. So I'm going to get rid of the word copy, and I'll maybe switch out event title to say something like Vision Night. And then just click outside of it, outside of the box that is, and that text will have updated. So I'll next show you how you can update a field. So let's go ahead and update question 4. Which session do you plan to attend? So again, in each of these boxes, I can very simply type in whatever field or whatever text that I want, click outside of it. Let's say I'm not having 4 sessions, I'm only having 3. I can simply click delete. Or let's say actually I have decided to have 4 sessions, I can click add option and then type in my new option. And then down here, you have a couple of other options. So one is to allow for multiple answers versus only one answer. So let's say we only want people to attend one of our events. I would simply untick that. And let's say as well that we want to make this a required question. Just click that. And again, to update all of this, all you have to do is click outside of the box. If you need to reorder things, let's say we want dietary requirements before transportation, all you have to do is click these 6 little dots here and just drag it to wherever you want, and the numbers will update automatically. If you want to add a question, all you have to do is click this that says add new question, and it'll present you with some options. So you could have a multiple choice option, you could have text that people enter. Again, you can have some different dates and things like that. So choose whatever is appropriate for you. I'm just going to say text for now and say sample question. And again, tick outside of the box. And if I decide later I want to delete that, all I have to do is click it again and hit delete. So when you're done with your form, when you're ready to share it, all you have to do is go up to collect responses and click that. make sure you have this option ticked that anybody can respond. And they do not have to have a Microsoft account in order to respond, but you have to have one in order to create the form. And then you can copy the link here and include that in your invitation or email or however you're sharing this information with people, or you could send that as an email. So I'll just hit copy link and it's ready to go. And then to view responses, you'll just go over here to view responses and you'll have information. Obviously, I don't, but you'll have information about who has responded. So that's how you use Microsoft Forms.